Alright, what's up, guys? So, I'm here to do the second episode on Dantalian no Shoka. So, an anime that I will be watching attentively, seems to be one of the great animes this season, this summer season. So, let's get down to it. I just want to say off the bat that the beginning of this episode wasn't as awkward as the first episode. If you remember in the first episode, you heard all this heavy breathing as if someone was getting raped or molested or whatever word you guys prefer. But you just heard this heavy breathing, which was kind of weird at the first episode. But at least in this episode, they didn't do anything awkward and weird. So props to them for not doing that again. So in this episode, Huey and Dalian are basically at a mansion place, and they're with this lady named Miss Lilburn, and her last name is just really funny, Miss Lilburn. I was laughing the entire episode each time I heard it because it's almost like Little and Burn, and they just shorten the Little to Lil Burn. So I don't understand, how that could be a last name. I mean, obviously it's made up and everything, but I think it's funny. It's all I'm trying to say is it's funny. So talking about a phantom book in this episode and how the phantom book was basically cursing someone, cursing her, and Dalian ends up stating that phantom books cannot or do not curse their owner. And they do some more investigation into it, and it turns out that it's not necessarily a book, more like a golem, and the golem was summoned from a book or from the colonel, because I guess the colonel, this was his library, and he died, and I guess it's all up to Miss Lilburn, and she's basically inherited this library of books, and there's a phantom book in this library somewhere, is what they said in the middle of the episode. Mr. Geese ended up stating that. Again, another weird name. I think it was Grease or Geese. I'm not sure, but one of those. And basically, it was kind of how you would say. It kind of wasn't. It was really straightforward, this episode. They come in. You find out that these people have been dying, and then they research into the past, and they find out that people died in the past as well from the same thing. And then you end up finding out that Miss Lilburn and her grandmother were both born as pure-blooded killers. I guess there was something in their family that gave women, or that that made people in their generation, in their family, in their bloodline, this some sort of urge to kill, I guess, or something. And they basically go through the research, and Miss Lilburn ends up trying to stab Huey. But I guess she stabs the book that Huey had. And then the golem comes out of nowhere. Well, the golem ended up appearing earlier in the episode. Mr. Grease, like I said, or Geese, ended up dying. And, at first when you saw that, you would think that, the person killed the guy and left. But the golem was still there in front of Miss Lilburn, which kind of gave the impression that she might have had something to do with it. But for Huey, he didn't think that at all. He just thought the golem was there, and Miss Lilburn might die as well. For me, I kind of thought that she had something to do with it, because obviously, if a killer killed someone, he wouldn't stay there and then be seen with another person. He would usually leave. He wouldn't be caught. But this golem, what I also want to touch up on is, let's finish that. He didn't leave, and then Dalian ends up saying that the golem responds to the master's order. It doesn't do anything on its own. It's not self-ran or self-run. It's just basically it has to be ordered around in a different kind of melody or sound or language, and so he didn't leave until Huey showed up. So it gave me the impression that Miss Lilburn was the one there, was involved in this little killing placement. So later on in the episode, she tries to stab him. There was a book there that she stabbed instead. He's still alive. The golem pops up, and the golem tries to kill Huey. And the story behind the golem is that the colonel ended up creating the golem to erase the evidence that Miss Lilburn, to erase the victims and the evidence that Miss Lilburn killed, because the colonel knew that his granddaughter was a pure blood killer. He knew it, so he created this golem, or summoned the golem, to erase the evidence and take away the bodies and everything of the people that she kills. Kind of fucked up. This girl is some crazy ass bitch. You know, as Chris Tucker would say, we could have had something special, but you one crazy ass bitch. So, so she's really just crazy. And what happens next is he ends up summoning a phantom book from Dantalian, opens the gate and puts it in and gets a book out and starts reading 2 phantom books. He gets exhausted, and the golem ends up leaving. He ends up summoning another phantom book and reading it because he figures out that the golem doesn't respond unless you're talking its sort of language in its own way. So he talks to it its own way, and the golem dies. And I guess the clock tower or the bell ends up falling down, and Dalian calls him a dumbass, and he ends up leaving. And Miss Lilburn stays there and says, you know, I want to die. I want to end my life. My life has been bullshit up till now. Which is basically, that's not what she says, but that's what I heard. You know, my life has been bullshit. I'm lonely. I want to see my family again. I want to die. So she dies, and that's how basically the episode ends. Near the end, you see that Dalian ends up changing her hairstyle, because in the beginning, she thought that Huey liked Miss Lilburn and was basically was concerned about her, and I guess Dalian got a little jealous or looked at it the wrong way, and then she stated it somewhere in the episode, in the middle or early beginning, that, you know, what is it that he likes about her? Is it her hair? So at the end of the episode, she ends up changing her hairstyle, similar to Miss Lilburn's, or a little different. And he ends up laughing when she says, you know, I did it on a whim. He ends up laughing. It was kind of funny, though. But I guess from that, you could see that she kind of has some affection for Huey. She kind of likes him. I don't know if it's full-blooded romance, or if it's just, you know, don't leave me alone, we're supposed to be together, friends, blah, blah, blah. Or if it's really a romance. Like I said, I don't read the manga for any of these, a little busy with life and stuff. And so, if anyone knows if this is actually going to turn into some sort of romance, like if Dalian actually will end up liking him in that way, let me know. And that's how the episode ended. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.